All right, well, I figured I'd start off and show you all how to tie a gray goose, I believe it's called. Um, just started doing my own flies this summer, so I'm no expert by any means, but they've caught fish and I quite enjoy doing it. All right, we'll go step by step here. So I just started out with some black thread. Got her started up kind of by the eye there. You know, it doesn't have to be too specific of a spot, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap. Just run your thread all the way to the back to the tail here. You don't have to make it real tight or anything, but I'll get the thread there and show y'all. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is just run the thread to the back to the tail, and next we'll tie on some feather and some peacock and go from there. So what I'm going to be using is actually pheasant tail feather. This I shot this particular pheasant in Tabor, Alberta. So using a little bit of that, a little bit of this peacock here. I acquired this from the feathers dropped from some peacocks actually at the wildlife park here in Kamloops. So, all with the permission of the park and whatnot. So, alright, so as you can see, I've tied in the pheasant tail. It's not, I don't have a lot. I have maybe 8 or 10 little strands of that. So you don't want a whole lot. Now you can either put in tinsel or wire at the back here. So because what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around your hook all the way up to, I don't know, I'd say right about there on your hook. So you're going to wrap it around and around. And then you want to come along after with either tinsel or wire, or I like to use this peacock feather. It just adds a bit of this looks a little better, I think, and that's just personal preference. That's what time flies is all about. So we'll get going on that. All right, so I've wrapped that feather all the way up pretty well to the front there, as you can see, and I got a little bit poking out. So you can either trim that off, or I think I might have gotten lucky enough, and it's actually looks like it's long enough. I'm gonna leave it and tie some peacock up front there, and then fold this over top of that peacock. We can trim this little bit of a tail back here too. So now you can see I've got the that peacock wrapped all the way up to the front there, and I made a bit of a ball up at the front. I wrapped it, 15 or so times or whatever. Yeah, you can see it's kind of got some more character to it there now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down those the rest of this pheasant. I'm going to lay it down over the top and tie it into place. And what we're going to do is just wrap it maybe 2-3 times up front, and then begin your tying your string on, because those knots add up, and I like to do 2 or so knots just to make sure nothing's going to go anywhere when you get some good bites. So yeah, we'll see that in a sec here too. All right, and there's pretty well your finished product. Hopefully y'all can see that. There you go, gray goose. You can use, well, like I said, I used pheasant and I used peacock. You can use any kind of feather you want. I have some hawk. I made some out of some hawk. Made some out of grouse. All kinds of stuff. But like I say, the tinsel on the back, or the wire on the back, and along the shaft. Like I said, I like to use the peacock. But that's up to you. A lot of fly tying is imagination versus versus what you see in the book, right? First couple, sure, do it by the book, and then explore and try whatever you want. Let your heart wander. All right, well, that's all for this video. Thanks, guys.